Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website addressed below. If you want to get your Mindset Magic or Tribal Tuesday seat, you can do so on the link in the description box below. And if you haven't got your quarter calendar, you won't get your discount on the next quarter calendar that comes out. So with each one, you get a discount. So with that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what the week ahead has in store for you, Virgos. What is going on for you this week? And this week, in your actions and your path, you have the Eight of Swords, right? So this week you could feel like you're fighting a bit of an uphill battle, whatever that means to you. The Eight of Swords tends to be very restrictive. It's like constriction, confinement, can even represent entrapment and imprisonment depending on the attending cards. And the fact that you've got this in your actions and on your actions and path, it does feel like this week in some way, shape or form you are restricted. Now, the good thing about the Eight of Swords is it does suggest that if you trust yourself and you listen to your intuition, you'll find a way to free yourself. But the surroundings, the environment that you find yourself in this week could feel very tight or very close. And this is a week for you to really go within. This is a week for you to pay more attention to your inner world rather than to your outer circumstances. This week, if you pay attention to the inside, you'll get so much more out of it, and you'll find a way out of the circumstances that you find yourself in. This feels really, really potent for me as well. I kind of feel like a lot of you are saying to yourself, you know, I'm damned if I do and I'm screwed if I don't. And if you are facing that kind of energy this week, go within. You already have the answer that you need, and that's where you're going to find it. So your communications and conversations, you've got the Page of Cups. This week you need to be creative about your way forward. You've got to really dig deep this week. So in terms of your communications and conversations, the Page of Cups suggests creativity is there. There is a way for you to find yourself beyond the circumstances that you're in. And the way that you're going to do that is by talking to people. And this doesn't necessarily mean your people. It could just mean, and I just don't know why I keep getting this image of Elon Musk in my head. It's kind of like whatever situation or circumstances you're facing at the moment, it's an external problem. But in order for you to traverse that or to get out of it, you're going to have to go within. And the only way that you're really going to get the stimulus that you need to find a way out of this situation is by tapping into your creativity. And the only way you're going to tap into your creativity this week is by talking to other people that are either in a certain field, people that have knowledge or expertise in a specific field, whatever problem it is that you're facing, especially if it's obviously a legal one or something like that, outsourcing to somebody that can really help you, somebody that has that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding of what it is that's going to get your creative juices flowing. And the reason I say this is it's important that you don't look for somebody else to bail you out this week. That's not to say that you're in any trouble. The feeling that I get is whatever you're facing, the answer has to come from within, but the push, the stimulus that you need will come from outside of you. And the chances are that's going to be maybe connecting with creative people, maybe connecting with people that are experts in their field, maybe getting, aligning yourself with people that are on a similar path to you, maybe with people that have faced similar situations. And the reason I say that is because whatever your way out of this situation is, it's totally unique, and it might be something really amazing that you discover in the process of freeing yourself. So consider that this week, right? Get the impetus or the push from other people, but let the idea come from within you. All right, and it's ultimately, if anything else, it's going to be more empowering for you. Your money and materials, you've got the 10 of Wands, so you're finally laying some burden to rest when it comes to the money. For some of you, this could be about a physical illness. This could be about a chronic illness, something very similar to chronic fatigue, or I think they used to call it ME. I'm not a medical professional, I can't give you medical advice, but I can tell you what comes up through the cards. For any of you that have been struggling with a chronic illness, you could finally this week feel better, and you could really feel ready to take this sort of thing to the next level and say to yourself, right, how do I get out of this situation now? You know, I want to start putting things in place that are really going to assist me in you know, freeing myself from whatever this burden has been. When it comes to your finances, this could be about you, one, either getting creative when it comes to your finances, or two, this could really see for some of you, I think this is about a long-term debt. I think something that you've had for a long time this week finally comes to a close. This could be that moment where you go, it was a slog, but you know what, look at that, we've done it, or I've done it. When it comes to your physical home with the Ten of Wands, I got to call it like I see it. For some of you, I feel like there's a change on the home front coming in. Now, interestingly enough, I'm not necessarily sure whether this is that you're moving. It may be that you have a relative, a loved one, an elderly, somebody comes to live with you, and you start to feel the burden of that responsibility. With that said, because it comes next to the Page of Cups, yes, it's got the Eight of Swords aspect, but because it comes through the Page of Cups, this could, in the long run, actually end up being a blessing in disguise, which is, you know, which is wonderful. So, finally, in your love and relations, you've got the Ace of Cups. So there is a saving grace here, and like I said, if there is somebody coming to live with you, I think in the long run, this is really going to do you a lot of good. I feel like at the moment, you're probably thinking, oh, you know what, this is going to be, I don't know what it's going to be, right? But in the long run, in the long term, I feel like it will be a really beautiful energy for you. For those of you that are single, new love is coming in. I have to be honest, this person looks like they're probably younger than you, especially like, you know, if you're older. But the thing about it is your hearts connect. And who cares, right? Age is really just, I mean, obviously, you know, if you're 70 and they're 20, there's going to be some questions asked about that on both sides, right? What are the ethical and moral sort of questions that need to be looked at here? No judgment whatsoever, right? So please don't take it like that. But, you know, I guess that's what I'm trying to say to you. Because of the Page of Cups, though, whatever age you are, the feeling that I get, Virgo, is the person that's coming in for you is very likely to be younger than you, but you connect on a heart level. And ultimately, isn't that what relationships are truly about? For sure. For those of you that are partnered, your partner could be divulging something to you this week that they have really struggled with. And I feel like whatever this was has probably driven a wedge between you. And you couldn't figure out what it is. You know, are they cheating? Is it this? Is it that? I don't think it's that at all. I think they've been struggling with something personally in the quiet. And I feel like this week when they divulge it to you, you're going to be like, oh, do you know what? Thank you for telling me. Like, now we can deal with it together. Whatever it is, we'll deal with it together. But because I didn't know, you know, when you don't know something, the mind wanders to all of the dark places. Do you know what I mean? So this could really be a relief. Like, even though they're kind of presenting you with something that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily want to see or hear from them, it could be coming as a relief because you're like, wow, okay, well, at least now I know, and we can start to solve that. But an interesting week for you guys for sure. And then finally, your key to the week is the Strength card. Whatever is taking place this week, not only do you have the strength and the courage to get through it and past it, you will do so with grace, finesse and poise, and I couldn't expect anything else from a Virgo. And a lot of people might say, oh, those aren't traits that you would necessarily associate with Virgo, because it's, you know, down in the mud, you know, roll your sleeves up, get dirty and get the job done. For sure, it is all of those things, but it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of inner dignity and grace to do those things, right? And to still, you know, come through it unscathed and you know, feeling good and all the rest of it. I think I'm making a bit of a sidetrack here, but I know what I mean, and I'm just having trouble verbalizing it. As if you could believe that. Gosh, I don't think, you know, I never met a word I didn't like. But yeah, a really interesting card, because this suggests that whatever comes up this week, you have everything that you need to get through it. You ultimately and absolutely will. And the fact that you have that strength card as well. This is about, because you've got this, the second 8 there, right? So you've got 2 8s here. 8s are about power. They're about material life. They're about manifesting things. So this is a really important week for you guys, I feel, because it's going to be a turning point of sorts. And I actually feel like you're going to breathe you know, all Virgos that have a lot of Virgo energy will breathe a collective sigh of relief this week. So with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.